Hello there and welcome to today's video, and this one is going to be a relatively short one. I wanted to come in here today because I've been having a lot of conversations with my leaders based on what's currently going on, right? The current climate, the fact that a lot of companies are in hiring freezes right now, and from a lot of perspectives, things are not looking so good as far as as we look into 2023. Just a lot of leaders are feeling a little bit discouraged and feeling as if they maybe even feel a little bit disengaged from the work that they're doing, and they're not sure how to keep the energy up, keep the excitement up, and keep the engagement up when it comes to their teams, and also just feel better themselves and feel a little bit more hopeful going into the new year. But not only that, also finishing off the year strong, because we still have a few weeks, which is crazy, but we have a few weeks before we even wrap up the year, before we go into next year. And a lot of leaders are also in strategic planning, right, in that phase of wrapping up the planning for 2023. But it's hard to feel encouraged and hopeful when when the economy is where it is, when there's these hiring freezes, when there's layoffs and all of these other things going on. So today I wanted to share 3 things with you that I think are going to be really helpful, just things to maybe help you have a different perspective, or to remind you of certain things that will really help you to stay engaged as you go through difficult times, and also to help your team out as well, because the more you can align with the things that are important to you and feeling engaged and instilling that hope for yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to lead your team in that direction and help them to stay hopeful and be more engaged and even excited for what's to come in 2023, regardless of the uncertainty, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is if you find yourself just not feeling really great about where you are right now. So maybe you are losing sleep, maybe you feel that stress, maybe you feel the weight of that uncertainty. The first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is take a pulse or take a check on what's going on with yourself, right? So in terms of like how you're feeling, what causes you to feel that way, what are certain triggers, what are certain things that make you feel more anxious than other things, all of those kinds of things, so that you can at least start with awareness to get a hold of or get control over the things that are making you feel discouraged in the first place. And then it's self-care, right? So it's taking care of yourself, making sure that you are getting enough sleep, that your nutrition is good, that you are taking care of yourself in the ways that are going to keep you energized, and help you to really focus, especially through times when it can be really challenging. So that could look like, like I said, making sure that you're getting good sleep, making sure that you are eating well, making sure that you're exercising, you're getting outside, you're getting sunshine, you are, maybe taking some walks, whatever it takes to have that downtime and take care of yourself is really what's gonna help sustain you through these times that are really tough. And then social connection. We know this from research, right? Social connection is incredibly critical to help you stay resilient and as you go into the next year. And so you want to make sure that you're examining those relationships, right? And so it's not only about having a strong support network and reaching out to people when you feel this way, but it's also about making sure that you are there for other people as well, because we know from the research that this makes a big difference in terms of your well-being, how you're feeling, and it helps to push you through in the times that are really tough. So the number one thing that I want to share with you is that self-care, checking in with yourself, making sure that you are taking care of yourself holistically and making sure that you are okay, and the most important things are taken care of before you even think about how do you navigate at work, or how do you support your team. It's kind of that analogy of the oxygen mask, right? You have to make sure that an oxygen mask is on you first before you can go and help other people. So the second thing that I want to share with you that's really helpful in these times is a lot of times when we are so focused on the lack, or what I call the gap, right, of where you are now to where you want to be, it takes away from you actually celebrating the fact that you have come such a long way. There've been successes along the way, and really just taking that time. I really want to encourage you to take the time to reflect on the past year and make a note, even if it's just for your own personal benefit, make a note of all the successes, big or small, everything that you've accomplished, the way in which you've grown and developed, the things that you're proud of yourself for, the things that others have acknowledged you for. Really keep a list of that, because that's going to help you to see your own growth and development and to really focus on things that are more positive, because where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on the things that lift you up and make you feel better and reflect on the positive, then you're more likely to have more the ability to be focused in the areas that are really important to you without feeling drained. So Again, that reflection, gratitude is so important every step of the way. Every single day, I would encourage you to start a gratitude practice if you don't already do this. And even if it's just something as simple as 3 things that you're grateful for every day, just feel what that feels like in your body, because from a well-being standpoint, it's going to help you feel better, it's going to help you to focus, and it's going to help you to keep going when you feel a little bit down and discouraged. So gratitude and reflection is the second thing that I wanted to share with you. And then the third thing, which I kind of touched on, is helping others and getting support. So what I mean by this is one of the things that I'm talking with my clients about as well is strategic planning for next year. So a lot of my clients, being in leadership positions, being in executive positions, are of course very focused on strategic planning from a business standpoint. But what I'm talking about is really being intentional about getting the support you need to strategically plan for your own career, right? Who are you talking with? Who are you getting the support from to help you navigate these challenges, but then to also keep your focus where it needs to be, to strategically focus on, okay, what is it that I can plan for and be intentional about going into 2023 when it comes to my career, the type of leader that I want to be. There's a lot of different aspects and facets of this that I unpack with my clients so that they feel so much more engaged and they feel so much more hopeful and inspired going into 2023, and they can lead from that place. So even if their teams feel a little bit discouraged and uncertain with what's going on around them, they can be that that light in that space, and they can help their teams just kind of get back on track and feel more engaged. So definitely I 100% encourage you to go and get the help that you need to focus on yourself, to get the right questions asked, to make sure that you are getting a holistic picture of what will bring you fulfillment, and then how you align with that going into 2023. Having your own personal strategic plan. It's not just for your professional life, but it can be for your personal life as well, right? So making sure you're focusing on those things that are going to energize you, the things that excite you about next year. Visioning is part of this exercise as well. So there's a whole lot that I can go into there in that situation. But just for right now, for the sake of time, number 3 is helping others out, getting the support you need, and also being very intentional before you get into the next period or the next phase of your career or even the next year. Is strategically thinking about what brings you fulfillment, what type of leader do you want to be, all of those things that will go into your strategic plan for your own life and your own career going into next year. Because the same way you're very intentional with strategic planning for the business, you want to do the same for you to set yourself up for success so that you can start to get more hopeful and inspired for what's to come, because there's a lot of things that are in your control, right, when it comes to what you experience and what you want for next year. So those are the 3 things I'll leave you with today. So self-care is so important, gratitude and reflection, and then